Today, I'm going to show you some of the best deals on the Pokemon card market. Finding the right Pokemon cards for your collection or investment can be tricky if you don't know what you're looking for. I went ahead and did all the research to find the best Pokemon cards for your money right now. So make sure to watch this entire episode of Buy It Before I Do. Alright, so we're going to do things a little bit differently today. Usually I use the website tcgplayer.com to show you the prices of the cards, but today we're going to be using a website called pricecharting.com. This website is really useful because not only do you see the price of the Pokemon cards themselves, but you also get to see the graded prices and pop reports and things like that. So this can really quickly help you find some cards that may be undervalued or cards that have a really good PSA multiplier. So here you can see we have Crown Zenith pulled up here. On the left column here we have the price of the cards that are ungraded. All these prices are in descending order so you can see exactly the market price for each one of these cards. Another interesting thing about this website is that the market price shown is actually going to be based off of eBay comps. And probably my favorite feature of this website is that it actually shows price charting for Japanese Pokemon cards. This is probably one of the only websites that has real market data for Japanese Pokemon cards. And the fact that it does use eBay comps means that you're going to get a pretty accurate representation of what these cards are worth. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's get into the list. Alright, the first card on the list here is going to be the Elisa Sparkle Full Art Trainer from Crown Zenith. This card you can currently pick up for just under $30, and it looks like the price bottomed out around April. Currently, this card is back on the rise. So a couple really neat things about this card is that the PSA multiplier is pretty good here. It looks like the PSA 10 version is going for just over $90, which is a great multiplier. I also really like this card because the Japanese version is significantly more expensive. And just for reference here is the Japanese version of this card. Ungraded with shipping is just under $150, and the PSA 10 version is going for over $325. Now, one thing to keep in mind when grading cards, and this is a really handy thing with this website, it actually shows you the prices of the 9 grades as well. So it kind of gives you that worst case scenario. If your card does come back as a 9, you can see what it'll go for. So for example, with this card, if you do get a 9 on this one, it's going to be around $120. So your card would actually lose a little value if you did get a 9 on this one. So if you are looking to grade, I would definitely recommend going with the Japanese version because it's much easier to get that PSA 10. Now, when it comes to actually purchasing the card, I still recommend going with something like TCG Player, your local game store, or even buying from us. A lot of the time you can probably get it for cheaper than eBay. And for example, like on TCG Player, you can buy from actual game stores. So the chances of you getting a higher quality card are a lot higher. So as you can see here, the TCG Player market price is actually $26.50 for this card. If I'm ever buying from TCG Player, I'd definitely go with direct because you're actually buying directly from TCG Player, so you really have way less issues if you buy this way. Now, typically it is going to be a little bit higher than market price, but it really is worth it. You can always keep an eye out for these cards too on our website. All of our cards are actually priced to match TCG Marketplace every 12 hours. So if you are lucky enough to find the card that you're looking for on our website, you're guaranteed to get a good price. All right, and this is where this website really shines. When it comes to Japanese Pokemon card pricing, it really doesn't get any better than this. So recently, VMAX Climax cards have really been skyrocketing. There's a couple cards in this set that we're going to talk about today. The first one is going to be this Dedenne character rare. This one has recently seen a pretty significant price spike. This card has seen almost a 100% increase over the past month, but that trend is also similar with some other cards from VMAX Climax. So while these cards are still affordable, I would definitely pick them up. Real quick, we're going to be giving away an entire booster box of Pokemon 151 to one lucky subscriber. All you have to do to enter this giveaway is like this video, subscribe to our channel with notifications on, and comment down below a Pokemon card that you think is undervalued. Alright, back to the video. Alright, this is another crazy one to me because just recently this was a $5 to $7 card. Next on the list is going to be this Charizard CHR from VMAX Climax as well. Again, this card has seen almost a 100% increase just in the past month because now this card is selling from anywhere from $15 to $20. You may still be able to get this for under $15 if you just scour the internet, or potentially find a seller in Japan willing to sell you multiple of these for a discount. But I think people are finally going back to VMAX Climax to find some of these really cool art rares, and because the supply is diminishing every day, the prices are just going to go up. This card also has a fantastic grading multiplier. Because it is a Japanese card, you do have higher chances of getting a PSA 10, but as of right now, this card is selling for over $75 in a PSA 10. So if you are looking to increase the value of your collection, I highly recommend grading this card, especially if you already have a copy or two in your collection. Alright, next on the list, we are going to talk about the Evolution character rares from VMAX Climax as well. These haven't quite seen the price increase as the other two cards, but already we can see that these cards are selling for more in Japan, and it hasn't quite caught up in the US yet. That being said, these recently could be purchased for around $2 or $3, and now they're going from anywhere from $5 to $7. But as we're going to see on this Japanese website, these cards in Japan are already selling for around $10 or more. So in Card Rush Japan here, we can see the Vaporeon CHR selling for 1,180 yen. So that's around $8 or $9 US. Typically, cards sell for cheaper here than they actually would on eBay. So I really think these cards are going to pick up real fast in the US. So if you're able to find any of these Evolution CHRs for around $5 or less, I highly recommend picking them up. Alright, so next up on the list is going to be the Magikarp Art Rare from Triplet Beat. Now this one is a tough one because I really think that's probably overpriced. That's just a personal opinion, but the market kind kind of speaks for itself here. The same artwork from Paldea Evolved is going for over $50, and recently we saw it spike as high as $90. So again, for multiple reasons, I would probably go with the Japanese one over the English one, simply because it's currently cheaper and of course it's going to have an easier time grading. And this one also has a really great PSA multiplier as well. Currently a PSA 10 version of this is going for as high as $150. So this just kind of goes to show that when a card is just this beautiful and so many people love the card, they will just pay a ton of money to get their hands on it, and it really shows. It absolutely is a beautiful artwork and it is very unique. So who knows, in a few years this could be one of the top chase cards that people are hunting down. Alright, next on the list we are going to look at an English card from Scarlet and Violet base set. And really I think there are a lot of singles from Scarlet and Violet base and Paldea Evolved that are undervalued, particularly the secret illustration rares. So for now we're going to talk about the Charizard EX secret illustration rare. This one is currently selling for just under $20, which is a fantastic deal already. And it's also hard to really ignore the PSA multiplier here. Now given the quality control of Scarlet and Violet base, that's probably why you are seeing a higher multiplier. But if you are lucky enough to get a PSA 10 version of this card, it's going to be worth around $120. Alright, and another one from Scarlet and Violet base set. Next up is going to be the Penny secret illustration rare as well. Again, there are just so many secret illustration rares both from Scarlet and Violet base and Paldea Evolved that are a great pickup. This one in particular though I feel like is a really good deal because it's so cheap and it's actually just about $1 more than the regular full art version. So as you can see here, the Penny full art is actually going for around $8.75 or $9. So it's almost the same exact price as the secret illustration rare version. This card actually made it to a list of ours recently, so going with the secret illustration rare version for around the same price is a great deal. And another huge factor here is that the Japanese version of this card is going for around $80. It's actually the second most expensive card in Scarlet EX, so I think the English version of this card has a ton of room to grow. Alright, this next one is a card I probably never saw put on one of these lists, but I'm actually going to go with the Gold Charizard from the Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection. So there's a couple reasons for doing this. The first one is that it's actually seen around a 30% decrease over the past couple of months. It was recently selling for around $150 to $160. Right now you can pick it up anywhere from around $100 to $120, but the biggest selling point on this card is the grading multiplier. Now you would have to be extremely lucky to be able to get one that's going to grade for a PSA 10. This is one of the hardest cards ever to grade, so a lot of these actually came out of the box with like chips on the paint. That being said, a PSA 10 version of this card sells for around $2,500, and even the PSA 9s are selling for over $200. So even if you don't find a card that is gradable, I think this card is still going to do really well over time because this is the most sought after metal card that Pokemon's ever come out with. And if you are lucky enough to get one that is gradable, you're looking at being able to significantly increase the value of this card. Alright, and the last card on today's list is going to be the Dendra Full Art Trainer from Paldea Evolved. This card is just way too cheap. Currently on eBay you can get it for under $10, but it's actually going for even cheaper on TCG Player. Not only that, it's also got a great grading multiplier. A PSA 10 version is going for well over $60, and of course the Japanese version is significantly more expensive. Currently the Japanese version is still going for over $60, but I think the craziest part about this card is that you can currently get it for under $5 on TCG Player. So for how popular of a Pokemon trainer this card is, I think this is an absolute steal. And again, if you're ever able to catch these cards on our website, we also match TCG Player market price. Our singles sell out really fast, but if you are able to buy them there, it directly helps support the channel. So that's an absolute win-win. Alright, that's it for today's episode. Thanks so much for watching all the way into the end. I really hope you found this information helpful, and if you did, make sure you subscribe with notifications on, that way you don't miss any future episodes. The links for our website and the resources used for today's episode are found in the description below. Alright, and with that, we'll see you next time.